Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Courtney. Courtney is from Los Angeles, in California, in the USA. So let's see what Courtney has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hey there.
Hello, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Oh my God, my day it's good so far. I got up, went to bed early last night, around 10 o'clock, and then I got up early this morning and I went hiking. I live right next to a place called Runyon Canyon. It's very
Mhm.
popular in Los Angeles. It's like a hiking trail, but my apartment is like right next to it. So I walk out my door and I go hiking.
I see. Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
What's that?
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
Definitely more a night person. For me to, I have to really be conscientious about work if I want to wake up in the morning early and get stuff done. Because I definitely would say I'm more active during like afternoon, evening. Yeah.
And
So
Los Angeles is the place where you're born and raised?
I am born and raised in LA. Yeah. Well, I born in Culver City, which is like a suburb of LA,
Mhm.
and I, yeah, basically grew up in suburbs surrounding the city.
And
So,
what's the best part of living in LA, in your opinion?
oh my God, it's the weather. It's like hands down the weather, and it's also that you have so many different spaces and within like an hour. So the beach, you could be in
Mhm.
the beach, you could be in the desert, you could be up in the mountains where there's snow, all within like, an hour and a half. So
Wow.
to have all three of those environments so close to you, it's really it's a very special thing about um, the geography here and the weather. Yeah.
And what do you do for work, for living, Courtney?
For work, I work for a platform which provides online access to uh, PrEP. I'm not sure
Mhm.
if you're familiar with that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
it's pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's a daily medication that you take to prevent contracting HIV.
Mhm.
So, yeah, my friend boss, CEO of the company, started about 5 years ago, and we it's been very successful. We've been able to give you know hundreds of thousands of people easy access to this medication that's so important, right?
Mhm.
And you know now we've also ventured into also HIV care. So whether you're positive or negative, we can give you access to the medication you need easily online. But I'm director of operations for that company to answer your question.
I see. Amazing. And
Yeah.
do you think nowadays, with PrEP, do you think in the US, in LA, it's easy, people they can have access easily or not? Still a bit of bureaucracy behind.
Um, in LA, it is easy to get access to PrEP. And most of the major cities in the US, it's easy. Like if you're in LA, if you're in San Francisco, if you're in Miami, if you're, in our major cities, it's easy to get access to the medication. But, the United States is a big country, and we have lots of areas that are rural. So they're not in an area that it's easy to get access to. And so that's where we've really been able to close the gap. So people that are in small towns or people that may be in a town where there's only one doctor and they don't feel comfortable because everybody knows everybody and they want to be discreet. Maybe they're not out yet. Maybe it's dangerous for them to be openly
Mhm.
gay. We've had situations where people have told us that their doctor refused to prescribe them the medication because of their own personal religious beliefs.
Wow.
So, Yeah, it still happens here, that kind of bigotry and discrimination. So yeah, it's been a wonderful experience to be able to provide this service to people.
I see. And the government, it provides it's a free access to PrEP, or you need to pay for it.
So there was a law that passed that says that insurances cannot deny the coverage of this medication.
Mhm.
So yes, in that effect, the government is saying that if your insurance must pay for it, um, and that is still it's not. The insurances are still fighting it. Some we do
Mhm.
get some patients who their insurance refused to pay for it. um, Thankfully, outside of that, there are government programs, not government programs, I'm sorry. There are programs which the drug maker itself provides for people that are uninsured, and it covers the cost of the medication completely.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
Coach. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point of views, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So before we start our journey, within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or something that maybe not people know about you.
Hmm. Let's see. I grew up playing lots of instruments and singing. So I guess that's something about me. Something that people may not know is that I struggle with anxiety.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
music always been part of your life as a singer.
Always been. This is, if you can see my tattoo, it's a mic, it's a microphone. Yeah,
Wow, amazing.
yeah.
Courtney, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay, ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, for some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, which movie had a big influence on you?
Mm, Tu Wong Fu.
Tell me about it.
I don't know if you're familiar with the movie, but I think it's like 94, 95. It came out, and it has Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo in it, and they're drag queens in the movie.
Right.
So that movie had a huge impact on me because at the time, I think I was like 11, maybe 12, and I knew that there was something different about me, right? I knew that I knew what the word gay was, and I was pretty sure that that was who I was. Um, and I remember being at the video rental store when those still existed, and we would go on the weekends, my mom or my dad. And they would, we would rent movies, and then I would get to pick the movies that I wanted to watch. And I remember seeing this movie, the cover of it with all three of them on it and drag. And I was just like, something in like it made my heart start to race a little bit because I was like, I want to see it because I feel like whatever that is, like there's something about that resonates with me. So I was scared to rent that one because I didn't know what my parents were gonna say, but I got over that fear and I just like took the movie, and they didn't even pay attention to what I had wanted to rent. So I remember getting home, and I watched it by myself, and it was I have to say, honestly, it's a moment that I still remember because I remember watching them getting in drag, and I don't know, it was something that made me feel like, oh my God, maybe I'm maybe I'm normal. Maybe I'm like, because I think they're gay or what, or drag queens. I didn't, you're 11. I was 11, so I didn't know all the different
Information.
aspects of the queer community. But there was something in that movie that made me feel seen, and
Uh-huh.
that made me feel comfortable, and that made me happy. And yeah, still to this day, it's one of my favorite movies. I can quote like every line from beginning to end. Yeah.
Wow. And
Yeah.
somehow the movie encouraged you to come out or not? It was just like more about information.
It didn't encourage me to come out then because, again, I was only 11, but it gave me courage and confidence and a sense of feeling comfortable, more comfortable in my skin, and more comfortable in these, thoughts that I was having, and like having crushes on boys at that point. It just seeing that on the big screen made me feel like it's going to be okay.
Amazing. Very good. Next
Yeah.
question. Hey, next question for you is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Definitely by a beach somewhere. By water. I love the ocean. I love the beach. It's one of the spaces that I just feel the most at peace.
Mhm.
So, and it may not even be in this country. It could possibly be in Mexico, um, South America, Central America, somewhere. But when I retire, I definitely want the ocean close to me.
Right now, how far are you from the beach?
Well, technically, I'm like 12 miles, but we're in LA, so 12 miles would take like about 40 minutes to drive there.
I see.
Yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Courtney, talking about being gay, tell me, in your opinion, how is being gay in LA? You can be your true self, you can express the way you are, or it can be a bit tricky sometimes.
I would say LA is definitely kind of a safe haven for those in the queer community, specifically if you're like in the Hollywood, West Hollywood area.
Mhm.
And I, sometimes I forget that I live in this bubble sort of where I don't worry about holding hands with my partner walking down the street, or I don't worry about kissing my partner in public, right?
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, I feel very safe here in LA, being open. Yeah.
And how was for you growing up as a gay boy? Did you have the support of your family, or it was difficult for you?
So I think I went through what at the time was kind of a normal process of coming into my sexuality, like, and high school I wasn't out, but I knew for sure when I got to high school I was like, oh yeah, I'm gay. But I didn't end up coming out to my family until I was 19, 20, around
Mhm.
there. And when I came out, my family was very supportive of me. Like they still loved me just the same. Nothing really changed as far as that. It was just an adjustment because I think my family, I think they knew also. So it was just a matter of me going through that journey to get to the point where I could, affirm, hey, this is who I am. But yeah, my family's been overall for the most part very supportive. I had a long-term partner for like 6 years, and he was at Christmas and Thanksgiving and
Wow.
family events, and it's so funny. Like that relationship ended like 6, 7 years ago, and my family still like
Wow.
asks about him. They're like, tell him we said hi. And my sister's like, yeah, my sister actually like just 2 days ago, she's like, oh, I miss him.
Oh,
I was like, I'll tell him you said so. But yeah, I think overall I've been fortunate in the way that my family um, accepts and embraces me.
amazing. Next question is, talking about family, if you could spend the entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
Hmm. It would be my mom,
Hmm.
uh, because I have a special relationship with her, and I don't feel like I spend enough time with her. And she's getting older, so if I could pick one family member to spend a day with, it would definitely be her.
Let's say
Yeah.
she's watching this interview right now and you have an opportunity, a moment to send her a message. What would you say?
Um, Thank you for your strength and um, your unwavering love.
Wow, amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, if you could have been a moment or event in history, which one that would be and why?
There could be a moment. Just so I understand, so like I'm picking a moment that I would like to see or be a part of in
Yeah,
history.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Honestly, it would have to be something to do with the civil rights era and here in the States.
Hmm.
Maybe being a part of one of the marches that helped to push forward um, the desegregation laws here in the
Hmm.
state. And I don't know why that popped into my head. I know that's such a random moment, but I just feel like being a part of that history would be very cool.
You know, I had so many guests here on the show from the US, Courtney, and some of them mentioned that the country it's divided. Do you feel that as well?
Oh yeah, it is divided more so than ever now. We are a two-party system for the most part, Democrat and Republican, and so there's always been two sides. But the the amount of contention between those two sides has grown to a level that is honestly at times quite frightening, because there are such extremes now. Yeah, our country is very divided on some core issues, and those issues are important, but really there are so many other things that we need to be focused on, like abortion is one of the big issues. Gun laws are one of the big issues. Voter suppression, and it is, yeah, we're living in a time that is very concerning here in the States. And I also feel like there are a lot of the population is kind of in um, they're sleeping. They're not paying attention to these really important things that are actually happening right now. Of course, we have a huge thing going on with our former president and him being in all these lawsuits. But yeah, I feel like people are not really taking it seriously where this country is right now and where it could be headed.
I see. All right. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next question is, what would be your ideal day?
My ideal day. My ideal day would be sleeping until my body naturally woke up, then having a really yummy breakfast, and then um, working out, making sure I, take care of my body,
Hmm.
and doing something fun like going to the beach or going to the movies or going to lunch or dinner with a friend. At the end of the day, I think the best days are the ones that are simple.
How often do you go to the gym?
Um, you typically about 5 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah.
the mornings or in the evenings, afternoon, what look works better for you?
Afternoon, evening, definitely. But this week I did two morning workouts, which is it's very not uncommon for me to do. But it's been good because I found that, at the end of the day, I'm like not thinking about like, oh, I need to get to the gym. I'm like, oh, I've already done it. So yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
nice,
that's
it's nice to change up your routine sometimes, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to go in the morning as well. For me, I feel like okay, that's done already. I'm not gonna feel guilty if I don't. You know what I mean? The evening and the afternoon. So it's something like
Yeah.
tick off of my list.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I love that. I love that aspect of working out in the morning.
And fitness always been part of your life.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. I think I got my first gym membership when I was 13 or 14.
Hmm.
Um, and there's been periods in my life where I'm not, um, consistent, but overall, yeah, fitness has always been a part of uh, who I am. Yeah.
Let's see. Next question. Before the next question, Courtney, tell me, let's talk about music. So tell me how music came into your life. And, growing up singing, did you have like an idol or someone that inspired you through music?
Definitely. Yeah, so music has always been something that is just part of my soul. My first experience really um, loving music was my mom tells this story. I guess it was like Christmas time and I was a little boy, maybe like 4 years old. And my mom has a beautiful voice. And so she was singing Christmas carols and she's like, you kept looking at me with this like look on your face. And then she's like, you started singing. And then that's how she knew that I could like sing at that age. And so yeah, singing and voices have always been something that is, um, it really feeds my soul, like listening to music, listening to singers. Whitney Houston is like my idol, to answer that question. So growing up, I was obsessed with her. And I still think she has the greatest voice that, ever. So yeah, that was my idol. And growing up listening to her all the time, and trying to mimic every like phrase and how she sings, I think it was a part of like developing my own voice.
I see. You said Whitney Houston, you said.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Next question for you is what's something that you always wanted to do, but you're scared of?
Mm, something that I always wanted to do, but that I'm scared of. Um, Skydiving. But I'm probably going to do that very soon. So, yeah, I'm definitely scared of it, but I want to do it. So, yeah, my friend and I are gonna probably go very soon.
Wow, wow. I
Yeah.
want to do as well, but I don't think I'm ready yet. But one
Yeah,
day, I'd like to do one day. But
yeah,
three questions left. Let's do it. Hey, Courtney from LA. Next question is where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Um, where do I see myself in 5 years' time? Well, my vision of where I want myself to be in 5 years is um, a business owner,
Mhm.
happily partnered and in love, and running my own business and um, having like a beautiful home and uh, yeah, so it's basically, I think, I don't think the vision of what I want for my life is all that different from everybody else. I
Mhm.
want Like I want a happy relationship. I want to be happy in my career, and I want to be living my life to the fullest of what of who I am, like living my authentic life, my authentic self.
How about the, talking about relationship in LA, in the gay scene? Do you think it's easy to have a relationship, or, there is this stigma about big cities that, it's hard to have a relationship because there's so many
Yeah.
people. How do you see that in LA?
Um, I think living in a big city, I think definitely living in LA can present its challenges with dating and trying to find a solid connection and relationship with somebody because there is, we have a lot of people here, and there's a lot of opportunity to, you know, to date a lot of people. So,
Mhm.
um, I think at the end of the day, if you do find somebody that you really connect with, it doesn't matter how many people are in the city because, you've made this connection and this bond with somebody. Um, but yeah, I do. There are challenges if you're single and you're trying to date here because there's a lot of people.
Two questions left. Let's do it. Right, but before the next question, what do you like the most about your job? What's the biggest joy of it? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging?
Um, the thing that I love most about my job and what I do is that I have the opportunity to provide um, access to a medication that sometimes is not easy to gain access to, and um, it's such an important medication for people to have access to because we want to stop the spread of HIV, right? We want to um, uh, lessen new 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 people contracting it. Although, we live fortunately in a space and time where the science and the medication is so far advanced that um, having if you do contract HIV, it's not a death sentence, right? It's like you can live a normal lifespan with it. Um, but the thing that I love most is that I get to help people get easy access to that. You know what I mean? It needs to be easy, accessible to everyone. And I think the challenge for me is most my staff is remote, so they're all over the world. So it can be a challenge sometimes managing people that are in different time zones and all over the world and making sure that we're all on one accord.
I see. All right. Next question is, what three things are you most grateful for?
Um, I'm most grateful for my family.
Mhm.
I am most grateful for my friends who are also like my family. And I am grateful for being being born at the time I was born. And I say that because I am a Black gay man, right? And if I had been born even 50 years earlier, my life would not be as not my life is easy, but my life would be a lot harder than
Interesting.
it's, yeah.
Very good. Last question. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go. But before the last question, in your opinion, what's the biggest stigma that people still have from HIV?
Is that it's a death sentence.
Mhm.
And it's not. It's not. Like I said, the medical advances, the medications that are available today, it's just like you having another, like if you have diabetes, you have to take a pill. If you have this thing, you have to take a pill and you're fine, right? And so I think that's the biggest stigma is that it's a death sentence.
I see. All right. Last question is, If you could meet yourself when you're 15 years old again, which advice would you give to yourself at the time?
Oh my gosh. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and know that who you are is an amazing person and you have so much love and potential in you if you just believe in yourself.
Amazing. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Success,
Fear.
love,
Family.
happy,
Life.
long,
One word for love.
one word for what?
Love.
Everything,
Religion.
restricting,
Sex.
beautiful,
Politics.
destructive,
Friendship.
important,
Desire.
necessary,
Regret.
okay,
Success.
Must, must, um, important,
Okay. Wish.
every day,
One word for happiness.
peace,
One word for music.
love,
One word for LA.
sunshine,
And the last one now, USA, one word.
USA, one word. Confused.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, define Courtney in one positive word and one negative word only, what your best friend would say.
Encouraging, sensitive.
Which one is the negative?
Sensitive. Sensitive can be a positive too.
I'm joking. Right, let's play now Courtney and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, your 3 top favorite songs of Whitney Houston.
I Will Always Love You, of course. All the Man That I Need, and oh gosh, I Look to You.
Wow. Actually, sadly, the day when she passed away, how did you find the news? Where were you? How did you get the news?
I was at work actually, and I was leaving work, and my friend texted me that it had happened, and like my heart sank, and like I felt like nauseous, and it's not like she's family or a friend, but like she was such an important model in my life that
Mhm.
hearing that news just really impacted me. And then, of course, I get in the car and it's on the radio station and everybody's playing her songs. And yeah, it took me a couple of days to really process through that.
It's so interesting that still nowadays, when I think about her, I think that she's still here. It's like Michael Jackson. It's like those, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
It's
difficult to think that they're not here anymore.
it's because their music had such an impact globally, and we
Yeah,
still hear their songs so much that they are still here through their music, right? And they
yeah,
will, like when Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody comes on at a club. I don't care if it's a gay club, a straight club, old, young, people will start singing that song and they will have biggest smiles on their
yeah,
faces. And
yeah.
so in that way, they are still here because they're still having an impact on people. So
It's so interesting. A few months ago, I was watching a YouTube channel where they put like music for children, like this generation now, and they were
yeah,
putting the music of those people already, like the 80s, the 90s. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting that some of them they didn't know. It's funny because they put Madonna's video clip and a child said, "Oh, she looks like Lady Gaga or Britney Spears." It was so
Yeah.
funny. And it's so interesting because they put Michael Jackson, and these people, the children went crazy. Oh my God, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. And it's so interesting because somehow they remember those people. They're not here anymore, but their music just
Yeah.
gonna live
It
forever.
lives on. Yeah, their music lives forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Um, hmm. What is your favorite memory ever? Like a memory of something, a place or something that you went or something that you did that still you think about and makes you happy.
Wow, great question. I could tell you a few, but the first one that came to my mind right now, it was my very first day at school.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yes, I literally, growing up, I had two cousins. They were older than me, 3 years older. And I couldn't wait to go to school. I remember crying when they were going to school because I wanted to go as well, but I was underage. And I remember the very first day when I went. I remember holding hands with my colleagues, going to the classroom. I remember clearly my very first teacher. I remember my uniform. So all those memories, like very not like very clearly, but I remember like going to school for the very first time because for me it was a dream at the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
that memory always gonna bring to my heart like a good memory for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. The feeling that you remember. You can't the
Yeah,
details fuzzy, but it's the feeling, right?
it's great. Like when you start, formulating the question, it brought me straight away there. It's
Oh, I
it's great.
love that. That's awesome. I love that.
Courtney, did you enjoy the interview?
I did. It was really nice to talk to you. Yeah.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so sweet and accepting my invitation. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Um, I would say I love this quote and it comes into play in my life so many times. You know, life can be challenging and we have our ups and downs, but this too shall pass, right? So whatever you might be going through, it's gonna pass. Like it's inevitable because time keeps going, right? So yeah, that
Absolutely
would be my word of encouragement for anybody out there.
amazing. Thanks so much and keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, have you on the show.
Right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.